Hey guys, it's Killen. I'm an electronic music producer and I've featured all sorts of different gear and software. So if you own any electronic music gear, there's a good chance that I've maybe covered it, so give me a peep. And today we're talking about this cute little thing, Orba by Artiphon, and it has officially replaced the OPZ as the smallest synth that I own now. It's like 1/3 of the size. Absolutely everything about this instrument is super compact, including the smartphone app that they just released. That being said, today we're going to focus on making a beat with the onboard sounds, so that's the sounds that are programmed into the Orba itself and also through the app. Let's take a look. The app is free, it's super easy to set up. All you have to do is connect it to your Bluetooth. So we're currently on drums. And if I head over to presets, browse, and then presets, you have a bunch of different options here to choose from. Let's go with Minimax because that's the newest patch. So for each instrument, drum, bass, chords, and lead, there's an option of 10 different sample packs to choose from at this point. I'm assuming they're going to keep updating with different ones as we go along. I mean, who knows? Maybe one day we'll be uploading our own samples onto the Orba. Now I'm just going to experiment with tapping, see how this feels here. So it's velocity sensitive. And you could also choke your notes or let them ring out like that. I'm plugged into my mixer, so I don't have much leeway here. Actually, you know what? I'll unplug it and you could, hit the bottom. That's one thing. That's a completely different sound. I actually spoke with the dudes at Artiphon and they mentioned the terms negative latency and capacitive touch. Obviously, don't ask me the science behind that, but if you hover your finger just over the pad, let's see if I could get a good visual of this. It's kind of tough to see, but the pad triggers before I actually touch it. So there's some sort of sensor in there. And that really helps with latency. So that's what the Minimax patch sounds like on drums. Let's start with a 4 on the floor kick pattern. To record, you hit A and record. And then the click starts playing. So we are currently at 120 BPM. So if we want to change that tempo, we could just go in through the app, hit the edit button. Tempo's right there, so you could change it to whatever you want. We're going to keep it at 120 though. Find the kick. I actually don't like this kick. We're going to switch it to cartridge, load. Definitely a weird kick, but we're going for like a housey electronic sort of vibe, so it might be fresh. We'll try it out. Okay, so hit record. And I'm going to start recording. Here we go. 2, 3, and. Oh. So let's say you mess up your pattern and you want to redo it. No problem. So we're currently on drums. Hold A and hit record. And you'll notice that the red light goes on, so that will erase that part. So now if we hit record, it's empty again. And I'm going to record a 4-bar pattern. 1, 2, 3, and. One thing to definitely make sure of, and you might have noticed while I was recording the kick, when you're done recording, you hit A before the start of the next bar. If you hit that A even a split second after the downbeat of the next bar, it's going to add that whole bar to your track. If you've already had this problem like a million times, I can relate. So right off the bat, we want to quantize this, right? Wrong. This is one thing that I think is really lacking with the Orba at this point. I know that they're like constantly adding updates, and I'm hoping that they're going to add a quantize function because that would be amazing. That's actually one cool thing about the OPZ is that you're able to quantize on the fly. So even afterwards, after the part has been composed, you could still quantize it afterwards. That's a huge plus of the OPZ. And if the Orba had that function, woof, woof. Next thing we're going to record is hi-hats and snare. Obviously we could have recorded this all at once, but I just wanted to lay down a solid foundation. Okay, so let's audition some sounds. I recorded a 4-bar pattern with this loop, so that becomes the length of the pattern. So if you record an 8-bar pattern for your first instrument, it'll be 8 bars. You get it. Another thing to keep track of though is this light. Ta, 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 ta. Okay, so here comes beat 1, ta, 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 ba, 1, right? So you have to keep track of that. Make sure you don't flip the beat around. Here we go. Okay, so we've gotten through the toughest part, the drums. Let's move on to the bass. Slap at the bass. Let's head back to these presets. Browse, presets. Let's take a look. Ambient. Ambient. Buzz, 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 buzz. Ooh. Pitch bend. That's so cool. I'm thinking for something a bit more boomy, perhaps. Boomy booms. Let's check that out. Right? So there's so much expression you could get out of this. So that's another really cool expression. The only thing is that it's hard to execute anything with that with precision. So I'm just gonna stick to using my finger. I mean, there's still quite a bit of expression to work with there. All right, let's try this sound. Okay, I'm liking that. Let's play that with the beats. Okay, let's lay that down. I'm using the cartridge preset. Just gotta do the loop around, make sure I'm on beat. 1, 2, 3, Oh, I think I'm gonna keep that. Okay, that's cool. But before recording that, let's just talk about the chords in general at this point. So let's say I'd like to lower the volume of the chords in relation to the rest of the track. To my knowledge, you're unable to do that, which is another thing to consider when using the onboard sounds with Orba. Like I said, to my knowledge, like I might be getting schooled in the comments here, but we'll see. We'll see if YouTube speaks. Another cool thing to consider here is that there's no wrong notes. So like all of these chords are completely diatonic, which is a blessing and a curse in my opinion. It's a blessing obviously because you can't go wrong with the chords and there's still a lot of leeway to work with. It's a curse because you can't step outside of the diatonic notes. Let's audition that one last time. Okay, that's it. Wait for it to go around. Do, 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the best I could do with my timing. I think it sounds pretty good. Let's take a look at some of these lead sounds. I'm gonna go with Minimax because once again, it's a new patch. I like that. Okay, let's hear that with the rest of the track. See, I want to go to that higher note. I want to go to the 9th there. Sorry, stop. So if you want, you could go up the octave. So to do that, you hold A, I'm currently on lead, octave, and go up the octave. That's an option. The only thing is that it's a little bit difficult to do that in real time, like if you're taking a solo. I actually don't want to record a lead part over this. I just want to leave the lead as like a soloing thing. So I cover all sorts of different software and gear, and I release music and content all the time. The best way to support this channel is by hitting the notification bell. It's better than subscribing. Subscribe, like, share, do all the things. Thank you guys so much for your support. LK out.